Namaskar. Hello friends. Today I am going to share with you my thoughts on forgiveness. Forgiveness is considered to be a very noble quality. We are asked to forgive another person who may have caused harm or loss to us. Is forgiving the same as forgetting? No. Forgetting would not be possible unless our memory and recall is dysfunctional. What it means is that the incident may very well remain in our memory, but the essence of true forgiveness lies in our ability to sincerely discard our negative assessment of the other person's action in that incident. For example, let us consider a case as follows. I had asked a friend for some financial help, but he did not help me. I believe that he could have helped, but he did not. I recall an earlier occasion when he needed help and I helped him. So I make a negative assessment of him and carry a grudge. I keep thinking to myself, he is not a true friend, he does not value my friendship, he is ungrateful, etc. Now, if I decide to forgive him, it is not enough to simply tell myself that I have forgiven him. I need to remove the negative assessment from the root. I need to be able to tell myself and genuinely tell myself that he may have had some particular situation or reasons because of which he may not have been in a position to help me. In effect, I need to keep a genuine attitude of giving a quarter to the other person whenever the latter falls short of my expectation. I need to bear in mind that every individual can be different. People can have their own reasons for the way they behave, and the reasons may or may not always be fully known to me. If nothing else, the other person's behavior is guided by the combination of the three gunas, namely Rajas, Tamas and Sattva, that he or she is made up of. I have to also bear in mind that my behavior can possibly not meet other people's expectations from me all the time to the full extent. Just as I would think that my behavior is justifiable because of this or that reason, so does everyone else. So I should not hold anybody's action against him or her. I should be able to accept it and move on. It is then that I will be able to genuinely forgive the other person. Now let us see what I understand by being of service to others. Role of gunas and service to others. I think the concept of gunas, the three fundamental constituents making up the nature of a living being, can be extended to explain the role of service to others and put it in a broader spiritual perspective as I understand it. I feel one of the main manifestations of Rajas Guna is physical and mental energy. A person with a substantial Rajas Guna will tend to remain engaged in action. So, someone with a preponderance of Rajas Guna with some Sattva Guna will need to employ his Rajas energy for some purpose. Such a person tends to engage in service to others, especially on a large visible scale. However, if preponderance of Rajas Guna is not accompanied by some Sattva Guna, such a person will engage in basically selfish materialistic activities. On this background, I also think that a person who has preponderance of Sattva Guna with very little Rajas Guna may not engage in service to others, at least not on any significant scale. He will primarily engage in the spiritual pursuit in his individual capacity and, of course, help others as per the demands of a given situation and his own ability. In other words, I feel that service to others, though a noble activity as compared to selfish engagements, need not be the end in itself from a spiritual perspective. After all, the Creator has created the duality of pain and pleasure, poverty and riches, etc., for His own divine purpose. So it is not for us individuals to want to eradicate what we think is bad or undesirable, like other people's suffering. Besides, one has to be very careful not to let his ego get fostered by the noble activity that he is engaged in. Also, such service to others, if done in an emotional way, may lead to an attachment of a kind, an attachment to results of one's efforts, forgetting the concept that suffering is also very much a divine creation. But yes, one may try to serve others if only to employ his rajas energy and to achieve a purity of mind that is a precursor to achievement of the highest spiritual goal. Indulge in charity for selfish purpose. Let me clarify right at the outset that I have deliberately used the word selfish in the title to indicate that I mean the true divine self rather than the limited bodily self. Most people went into the moral, social, economic aspects as also the personal aspects of the receiver of charity. What I intend to present here is different. It is completely focused on the doer of charity rather than the beneficiary. Why do we indulge in charity? Is it for the benefit of the receiver? Is it for solving the related problem? How far is my action alone likely to solve the wider problem? Should we go into the aspect of the purva karma, that is credit debit for past deeds, of the receiver and then leave him to suffer on that account? Is charity likely to perpetuate the underlying problem? Is charity likely to perpetuate the underlying problem because it may encourage the receivers to continue their idle ways? Or do we do charity so that we accumulate punya, that is credit for good deeds done for ourselves? I think we should not look at charity from the above viewpoints at all. We should leave out all the considerations relating to the external world, like the possible fault of the sufferer, or his past bad karma, or the wider social, economic, political aspects of the situation, and a solution to the problem, etc. The reason is that if we indulge in that kind of analysis, it most likely leads to inaction. We should look at charity totally from our own personal spiritual point of view. I should ask myself what it will do to me rather than to the receiver or the society at large. If I feel bad about the suffering of someone helpless and I feel good by doing charity, I should go ahead. As it is said in our scriptures, Karma Yoga is the best way to achieve Chitta Shuddhi, that is purification of subconscious mind. So act we must in good faith, not for achieving this or that result, but simply to purify our mind. We should not look at it as accumulation of good karma for ourselves. It is not as if I have a credit balance in my karma account and I want to increase it further. I would rather think that I have a debit balance in my karma account and my charitable act will help reduce that debit balance. Whether my charity helps the receiver to come out of the problem, or whether it will perpetuate his dependence, or whether it will solve the wider social problem, is a part of the bigger picture which is best left to the Almighty. I'll stop here. See you the next time. Until then, bye. Take care.